Let's get ready, say go. This was on, this was on, this was on, this was on. Let's go, this was on, this was on, this was on, this was on. Rainbows in the sky, let's fly away like a bird. You're free to see the boundless face of the earth. Let the wind blow you like a knife and glide away. Far beyond the clouds, you'll find another place. If the road ahead seems so cold and gray, turns today, don't you be afraid, go and fly away. Chala, hey chala, no time to hesitate, go on and search the earth, within it lies a magic surprise. Oh, chala, hey chala, don't be afraid, you got the power to get through the darkest night. Chala! Zooming round and round in the sky like a coaster. Hold on tight, or you may find yourself trapped in a maze. When that happens, you may think you will never find your way. At the past, you may take sin or the same. If the road ahead should lead yourself cold and gray, when night never turns to day, don't you be afraid, go and fly away. Chala, hey chala, no time to hesitate, go on and search the earth, within it lies a magic surprise. Oh, chala, hey chala, be cool, don't be afraid, you got the power to get you through the darkest night. Hey chala, no time to hesitate, go on and search the earth, within it is a magic surprise. Oh, chala, hey chala, be cool, don't be afraid, you got the power to get you through the darkest nights. Chala. Let's get ready.
ELW proudly presents Clickbait Wrestling. What is going on, people? This be your boy Smith. As always, joined by my North American thick boy tag team partner, Matitude 22. What's going on, peoples? I do apologize. Had a little bit of a tech issue there. I hit the wrong button and it just deleted the whole stream. So I had to, had to restart the whole damn stream because your boy deleted it. So that's my bad. That's on me. That's on me,
It
Chad.
happens.
But we're here. We made it. It's Monday Night Raw, the night after Double or Nothing, the night after King and Queen in the ring. So yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. And we're now in the ring with the King General, who refuses to put the crown on his head. And you know they made that crown specifically to fit his noggin, and he won't put it on his head. Put on the crown,
Or
goddammit.
watch he just stomps on it and is like, I don't need this crown, and just stomps on it.
Yeah, he needs to really put that crown on his head. Listen,
Yeah, put it on.
I'm
It's a crown.
like
You wear it.
I wish somebody was at Gorilla like, oh yeah, Gunther, I'm gonna need you to put that crown on. Yeah, like it's kind of a thing. It's kind of a thing. We work so hard to make it shine and look professional and like legit, not like a joke crown. Could you please put it on your head at least one time?
Yeah.
Just put it on one time, man. Come on. I mean, if it's good enough for King Booker, it's good enough for you, damn it.
Yeah. At least put it out for your. At least wear it for your entrance.
Yeah, you could have took it off when you got in the ring. At least wear it down the ramp. But we now know that King and Queen of the Ring will be getting a title shot at whatchamacallit, SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
Oh, here comes the world heavyweight champion. So are we gonna now try to make Damian Priest babyface now?
He kind of seems like he's giving off that babyface vibe a little bit, eh?
Uh-huh.
Like he's coming down to the ring, he's all like smiling and energetic, very babyface-esque.
While Finn and Finn Balor Jr. mean mugging. What's going on, everybody in the chat? Gojira, Marin, what's popping?
JD McDonough's getting ready to get the shit kicked out of him later tonight.
Now here's the question: are they really gonna do Drew McIntyre dirty 2 years in a row by going to his homeland just to lose?
No, I think Drew will probably win.
But beat Damian Priest?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like,
because
then it's like his reign's gonna be pretty short then.
It will be, but I guess it's more he got to have his WrestleMania moment. He gets to have a bit of a reign, but then yeah, because I think
because they're already pushing this for SummerSlam, and it's like Clash comes before that. So it's like, are you going to take the title off of Damian and then hot potato it back on him? Or, like, what are we doing here? Because I don't see his reign being that short. They kind of, it seems like they want him to see how long he runs.
I think he's gonna drop the title to Drew because I think Drew needs to eventually drop the title to Punk.
But that can happen later, though. That can happen way later. Punk's not even.
But that's what I mean. Like, Drew beats Priest at Clash at the Castle. Then Drew gets to go into SummerSlam as champion, beats Gunther at SummerSlam, and then I would say shot at the dark, maybe even at like Survivor Series, because it'll be 1 year that Punk made his return, and then probably at Survivor Series, Punk takes the title off of Drew. I can't see Drew losing two consecutive years at Clash of the Castle. I just can't see that. Unless it's shenanigans and Punk comes out and costs him the match, but it would be kind of weird to see Drew McIntyre 2 years in a row he's on the poster, and 2 years in a row loses world championship matches. Yeah, I don't know. Like if Priest drops the title at Clash at the Castle, you got to have his WrestleMania moment. You got to cash in his briefcase. You got to have a little bit of a run. You got to go to the France pay per view as champion and defend against Jey Uso. Unless Punk costs Drew the match, but I don't see Priest beating him clean. But is there a pay per view? Is there a pay per view in between Clash and SummerSlam?
There's probably another Saudi show.
Because again, I'm
It's probably another
okay.
Saudi show.
All three of the guys in the title picture right now are heels, and I don't really see them doing a heel versus heel match for SummerSlam.
That's why I
So I
said.
don't
That's
know.
why
I
they're
don't know.
already positioning Damien to be that baby face.
Yeah, unless they're getting ready to turn Damien face.
I think
Yeah,
that's what's gonna
I think
happen.
you're. I could see that. I could see that too, Marin. I could definitely. I don't think Priest is beating him clean. I think if Priest wins, then I think it's because CM Punk will come and cost Drew the match. But unless they turn Priest babyface, I don't see Damian Priest and Gunther at. I don't see it being heel versus heel at SummerSlam. Like a big pay per view like that, a big for pay per view. They're gonna want to have that classic good guy versus bad guy, hero versus villain scenario. But I don't know. But again, it would be weird to see Drew lose at Clash at the Castle twice. It would be strange. But again, like Drew McIntyre just re-signed, so now they could just be like, fuck him. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just tired of hearing Drew McIntyre whine about Punk. It makes him look just like. It just makes him look like he's just over here coping, son. Like, get out of here. Well, anyway, let's talk while they're over here running their mouth because they ain't wrestling. Let's talk about the King and Queen of the Ring that happened this past Saturday. Short show,
Pretty boring.
I wouldn't say it's boring. It wasn't. It wasn't nothing special. It is what it is. Like I look at it like this. It's a Saudi show. They're gonna put on the pomp and circumstance, and do you give you the spectacle because they're in Saudi Arabia. So they're gonna pander to the Saudi Arabian people, and it is what it is.
The Saudi shows have been far better. The Saudi shows were far better under the Vince McMahon regime.
I don't
Like,
know.
okay,
I clown them. Listen, I'm gonna clown any show that has women running around in bodysuits and dudes half naked. It's just kind of weird of a perception because it's like, so we're okay with half naked men, but women cover that up. Always find that weird.
of course.
But so I'm always gonna make fun of it every time I get a chance because like it's like we had the kickoff. We got the women's tag match of BGM or Black Girl Magic, as I call them. Bianca Belair and Jay Cargill defending against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. It was kind of a nothing match. I did like the finish though. The finish was decent. Little soft, but still decent
What was
with the continuity though.
What was the finish?
Well,
was the finish?
they basically did like a double team maneuver. So like Jade hikes up Candice, Bianca grabs her, drops her in a DDT, then like kicks her up into a German suplex by Cargill, and then Bianca got the cover. So it was a nice little combination of moves. If it was done a little bit faster, it had looked even better. But the combination of what they did, it was like showed that okay, they've been in the lab. It shows they've been in the lab. So it's like okay, they working on something. I'm gonna let them cook. So like I said, the finish of what they had was pretty decent. Like I said, they didn't do Jade did the Jaded or Bianca did her KOD. They had a tag team move, a tag team finish. So I was like, I see what y'all doing, and you're coming out with the matching bodysuits. So it was whatever. Like it was a kickoff show to have a kickoff show and get the women's title on the card, get Bianca and Jade on the card, basically. But it was a women's match. Like it was like I don't know, man. I feel like Candice has nerfed herself because you keep telling me she's done better. She out here not doing so hot. Like did she nerf herself? They got her doing.
Because look what they got her doing. Like fuck the last 2 months of her career. It's been her versus Maxine every week.
Yeah. But I'm not even talking about... I'm talking about, like, her quality of wrestling. Like, she just seems off. That's what I'm saying. Did she nerf herself? I'm talking wrestling-wise. Not booking-wise. Yeah, the booking-wise is trash. But, like, her in-ring ability was just... It felt off. Like, it felt...
What I'm saying is... How can somebody to be expected to be at a consistent level when they're constantly in matches with garbage wrestlers?
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong on that account.
Right?
I would agree. I
right?
would agree with that.
Like
you gotta have better caliber of wrestler. So yeah, I agree with you on that. I'm just saying, like, her and Indy just, I don't know, it just felt off. Like I said, the match wasn't completely terrible, and it didn't go that long because again, it was a kickoff show. But they defended, they did retain their titles. We had what was the first match? The first match was the women's match, right?
Yep, it sure was.
For the world title, Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. Again, it's Yawn because Liv Morgan sucks.
She does suck.
Sucks hard. And the fact that they put the title on her is like, why? Why are you putting the belt on her? She is so booty.
It's not just the fact that like Liv sucks. It's just the fact that this is a match we've seen 100 times now.
I got people like Smelly Rydrake sending me messages like, "Oh, Liv champion, you got to deal with this." I ain't got to deal with anything. She's still trash. She can't wrestle. Her wrestling is slow. Yeah. They did that whole little vignette, and it's like, yeah, and all that time you've been here, you have not gotten better.
Yeah, you know what, Marin, you're totally right. Becky is overrated. You're totally right, Marin.
Yeah, she overrated too.
I think Becky is a cool character, but a boring wrestler. Like, let's be real. Like, man is a cool character, but watching a Becky Lynch match, like, she's not that great. Like, she's not exceptionally good.
It doesn't help that she also came out in a bodysuit tuxedo. That don't help either.
And then when you combined Becky Lynch with Liv Morgan and bodysuits, you just got a recipe for disaster. You just got a recipe for disaster.
Body suit. They're gonna put you in a
It's
body
like
suit.
it's like if I made you like a milkshake, but I used like spoiled milk. Like it's not gonna be a good milkshake because already the foundation is bad, and that's the problem. No, but I'm just saying like that's the problem with that match is like the foundation of the match was rotten from the start because you have trash ass Liv Morgan, you got overrated Becky Lynch, you got a match that we've seen 100 times, and you got bodysuits. Like it's the perfect recipe for rap.
But we did walk out with a new
Well,
women's
Go-
world
Gojira,
champion in Liv Morgan.
Go-
She
Gojira
did
says
look like
Becky
Mr.
looked like Mr.
Peanut. She
Peanut.
did.
Yeah, she
In
did.
little
She did.
fucking, in a little
I didn't.
goddamn outfit, look like Mr. Peanut. Like that
I
ass.
didn't think of that, but yeah, that's funny. That's funny. She did look like Mr.
She was
Peanut.
out here looking like straight up Mr. Peanut in the bodysuit. Like, yo, what you doing?
And then the finish, that match sucked, and then the finish sucked. Like Liv Morgan gives Becky Lynch the ugliest DDT I've ever seen in my life, and then she hits her with the dumbest finisher in all of professional wrestling. Like I would give that match like a 1 out of 5, and like to say that match gets a 1 is like me being generous.
Yeah, it was pretty weak. But we go from the women's world title to what was the next match? Trying to remember the order because I was.
It was the triple threat. It was the triple threat.
Oh yeah, for the IC title. Yeah, and like Sami Zayn's beloved over there now.
You're right.
He's designated as the new Mansoor.
Listen, man. Listen, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm just gonna say it. Like, listen, man. The triple threat, super average, run of the mill triple threat. Nothing exciting, and the finish was utterly predictable. Like Chad Gable picks Sami Zayn, and as soon as he's holding Sami Zayn and he's telling Otis to clothesline him, you already knew what was coming from a mile away. So Otis goes to clothesline him, Sami Zayn ducks, he clotheslines Chad Gable. Wow, original. And then Sami Zayn just slides in the ring and pins Bronson Reed out of nowhere. It's whatever. Like it was what it was. Like it wasn't like terrible, but just super run of the mill triple threat. Super boring and predictable finish.
Yeah. That's why I was just like, that's why I was like, yeah, Sami Zayn had no problem. He was at no risk in that show because, like I said, he's beloved over there. His family is from Syria.
Yeah.
And then that was why earlier on he was protesting. He didn't want to go, but now all of a sudden he want to go. But I understand. You got a kid to feed now, and them bonus checks is nice. Them Saudi checks is nice.
Like Marin says, like every WWE ending, and I think Marin's totally right. Like this felt like just a predictable run of the mill WWE ending that we've seen 100 times. Like as soon as anybody is holding anybody like that and telling somebody to go for a clothesline, you already know what it's gonna be. And yeah, just super predictable ending, super average triple threat match. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gojira, listen, I know people like to people like to say that, like, oh, I'm just being hypercritical, I'm just being a hater. But you know, Gojira, it pisses me off, Gojira. And you know why it pisses me off, Gojira?
What?
Because Bronson Reed beat Okada, man. Bronson Reed beat Okada clean. Like New Japan was positioning Bronson Reed to be the next big star. And then he comes back to WWE for this shit. Sucks, man. Like that sucks. I don't care what anybody says, man. Like he should have fucking stayed in New Japan, because since coming back to WWE, they've done nothing with him. And New Japan, they were getting ready. He was in prime position to be the next big thing in New Japan. No pun intended. And since coming back to WWE, they've just totally underutilized him, and it sucks. I think it sucks. Like, listen, man, either one of those two people should have won that triple threat. Like Gable or Bronson Reed. Sami Zayn should not have won. Sami Zayn should not have beaten Gunther at WrestleMania. But whatever.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. He should have never.
Like I said, super
Gunther
average.
should have never
triple
went
threat,
out on a
super predictable ending.
606-day reign. Now he's sitting there holding the crown like a schmuck. Won't even put it on his head. Man has a hat and won't even put it on his head.
Yep.
I don't know. But okay, we go from a triple threat to the women's finals for the King of the Ring, Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyria. Hey, listen, I called it.
You did.
So
You did.
all the way through, I called the match type and the winners of set match type. And it actually went about the same way as I said it would. Plucky underdog fighting her way through the indomitable and movable force. And then literally she got squashed. Listen, that was probably one of the best finishes you could possibly ask for.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah. That was quite the finish.
Yeah, again, I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say. Again, this was just a very run of the mill David versus Goliath match.
Yeah.
Nia Jax is not very good. We know she's not very good. Lyra Valkyria did everything she could, but
I mean, listen.
What it was, man.
Nia Jax is not that good, but to her credit, Lyra Valkyrie carried her through a decent looking match. Weren't too many flops, weren't too many botches. Like, she carried her to a decent match. That when that finish happened, I was like, oh shit. Like, I felt like how Corey Graves, like, he got out of his seat. He was like, oh shit, didn't see that coming. she just let gravity do the work. That was it. It was like, oh yeah, that's the finish. What's going on, Jordan Kirby? Thanks for joining us, man. But yeah, like I said, it was all right match. Nia Jax wins. Queen of the Ring.
It was
kind of called it
again. Like it was a very run of the mill, like David versus Goliath style match. Like nothing exceptionally good. The best thing I could say about that match is it wasn't the utter train wreck that I thought it would be.
Nah, like I said, like that's because of Lyra. That's because of Lyra.
Yeah, like Lyra did her best. She did her best with Nia, but there's only so much you can do when your opponent's like 3 times your size and they can't work. There's only so much you can do, you know? So yeah, like I thought she did
Look here,
the best she
Kirby,
could.
I don't know, man. Like, you would think if you got hit by a bus, you'd be like, yo, I'm gonna take some time off for a little bit. You know, get myself back together, get my affairs in order. But, Darby Allin's like, nah, I'm gonna set this dude on fire, and you get. Oh, by the way, when I'm done setting him on fire, you can hang me upside down like a piece of meat for like good 10 minutes, and then kick me in my face with tack
And you know,
Reebok pumps.
maybe, man, maybe like maybe he should climb Mount Everest because he seems like indestructible. Like no, but like listen, like a couple weeks ago, he gets hit by a bus, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll just come back. I'll just come back to work."
I don't know, man. Listen,
Then man,
he's
you
testing.
gotta
Like
give
I
it to
said,
him.
I
Hats
feel
off to Darby, man.
I give him credit, but at the same time, he being reckless because like yo, he's gonna die. I hate to say it, he's gonna die.
He's certainly not going to be wrestling well into his 50s. There's no doubt about
Nah,
that.
bro, nah. Cause it's just he's just too reckless. Oh, here comes Galito. Galito.
What, he still works there?
Yeah, he still works there.
I'm just kidding. I knew that. I like Braun Strowman, man. I'm a Braun Strowman mark. I don't care what anybody says. I like Braun Strowman. I think Braun Strowman is one of the best big men WWE's ever had.
Man, what happened to Finn Balor? That's the real question. He used to be the prince. Now he's just a pawn.
Yeah. Yep. I honestly, I hope they split Judgment Day up, and I like Finn Balor needs a monster singles push coming out of Judgment Day because man, like he's another guy with tremendous potential that I just feel like is he's not being used to his full potential.
Oh, Braun over here limping to the back. Boo, Liv Morgan. So trash, bro.
I just want to go back to the women's match. Do you think the plan was always for Liv to win the title, or do you think it's a thing where like Becky's contract expires this weekend and she hasn't signed a new contract, so they're like, "Hey man, listen, like if you're not re-signing, we gotta take the title off you and move on."
Nah, she's resigning. She ain't jumping ship or doing nothing with it. She know where the money is. Her man worked.
I don't
there.
think she is either.
I think she's just holding out to see if they're gonna offer her a little bit more, because she thinks she's now worth
I think
more. And she ain't going nowhere.
I think she will too, but
her man worked there. She ain't going
but
nowhere.
but as of June 1st, she's a free agent, and actually Seth hasn't. I don't think Seth has signed a new contract either.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I ultimately think
they're both gonna resign. Them dudes ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so too, but I think it's a thing where like probably they're like, okay, well if you're not re-signing right now, we gotta take the title off you.
Put it like this: Seth already did the struggle life. He did the Ring of Honor. He did the indies, so he already knows what the struggle of an indie wrestler is. He ain't going back to that.
Yeah, like ultimately, I don't think either of them leave. Like I don't think Becky's leaving WWE, but I think it's a thing where definitely like had she re-signed already, probably she would have kept the title. Is what I'm saying.
No, I think they just put the title on Liv because they're trying. Like I said, they're trying to promote Liv as a main event woman now. So they have to give her more title. They have to give her a reign to legitimize that, hey, she's on the same level as a Becky Lynch, as a Nia Jax or a Rhea Ripley, because like I said, they don't have many main event women on both rosters. Who are their main event women? Like actual main event women?
I think Natalia might leave once her contract expires, though.
Yeah, she might. She ain't doing nothing.
Yeah. I think Natalia might leave because I think she might want to wet her beak and see what else is out there. Because I think her contract is up pretty soon, and I think she said she's gonna be out. And I'm also hearing that apparently Ricochet's contract is going to expire very soon, and apparently he's going to be on his way out.
Yeah, Becky did Indies too. They know the life. They know the life already, so they're not going back to that where, you know,
Yeah.
you wanna go from here to there. Especially they got a kid now too. They ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, like again, I think Becky will inevitably re-sign, but what I'm saying is, had she re-signed last week, I wonder would she still be champion right now?
Nah, I think the outcome would have still been the same. Because
'Cause
that's why we had to get Dominic involved.
Because I kind of wonder if Becky winning that battle royal in the first place, I kind of wonder if Becky winning that battle royal in the first place was a way to entice her to stay, and then it didn't work. So then they're like, okay, well, I guess if you're not re-signed, we got to take our belt back.
Nah, I think what happened was
I don't know.
If you want my opinion, I think because if you paid attention, they've been seeding these things of Dominic and Liv Morgan for a few weeks before Rhea got injured, and that was gonna be the play. But then Rhea got injured, so we had to pull an audible, and they were still doing that Dominic Rhea stuff, Liv stuff. That's why his ass showed up in Saudi Arabia this weekend to continue that whole thing between him and Liv. Because eventually, when Rhea does return, there's gonna be that thing of like, what you been doing with Liv,
Yeah.
So I think her reign was gonna happen. It was probably gonna be a thing where she would have probably faced Liv if Rhea didn't get hurt. She'd have faced Liv in Saudi Arabia, and Dominic would have cost Mommy the title on some accidental shit.
You know, I know. I know.
Because look, how did Becky lose on some accidental shit? He was trying to give her the chair. Liv used it against her. That replaced Becky with Rhea on that scenario. That's what would have happened.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. You know, it's fun to speculate.
Yeah, I feel you, but I'm playing WWE booking, and that's what would have happened. You would have replaced Becky with Rhea. Because they've been planting that seed for weeks now. You just got to pay attention to the shit that happens in the background. When they do all those background segments, and I kept peeking Liv and Dominic doing something in the background. So they were planting them seeds. They were planting the seeds. And like I said, the only thing that got in the way of that was Rhea getting hurt for real. So we had to put an audible. We give the title to Becky. Becky eliminated who? Liv Morgan, the person I said that when that battle royal happened, that the three women that were going to be last were who? Nia, Becky, and Liv. Why? Because we have to establish main event women. And they want Liv to be known as a main event woman. Not just a regular woman on the roster where she could just get beat by every Tom, Dick, and Harry, but she could compete with a Becky Lynch, with a Nia Jax, with a Charlotte Flair whenever she returns. They need you to believe she's on that level. And they were going to do that with her versus Rhea, but Rhea got hurt, pulled an audible. Gave it to Becky. Becky transitioned it to Liv to replace the role that would have been Rhea's spot to take. That whole Dominic shit was meant for it to be Rhea Ripley because the seed was planted. That's what I'm saying. That was the design from the booking side of things. If you paid attention to the story, but since that didn't happen, now we have this. I think, like I said, Liv was always gonna be made. They were always gonna put that belt on her, regardless who had the belt before her at Saudi Arabia. Now, do I want her as champion? No, because she fucking sucks. She fucking sucks. She is not good. How she been there that long and not gotten better is, I don't know. I mean, she's worked her way through the roster menu to think they'd have taught her something during the time off and maybe helped her out a little bit, but I guess she didn't get nothing. Nothing through osmosis, nothing. Just, she didn't pick up a damn thing.
Yeah.
Like, the skills have not gotten better. Like I said, every time I watch her match, I feel like I'm watching it in slow motion. But anyways, move on to the men's finals of the King of the Ring. Gunther, Randy Orton. Well, if you're watching Raw, you already know who won. Decent match, sloppy finish, which they had to address, by the way. I don't know if you saw, like, they addressed it off in one of those YouTube segments, and they're like, yeah, it's final, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know, so it's fine. My only beef is Gunther didn't put the crown on. That's it. They clearly made that shit to fit your noggin. You could at least try it on.
I thought the Randy Gunther match, it was fine. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It was fine if it was the main event of Raw. I don't think that match hit as hard as I initially expected going into it. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
I was going into that match, I was expecting it to be a lot better than it was. It wasn't bad. It was okay. It was just okay.
I mean, Marin, you watched it. You was with me when we watched it. We're about to get into it in a minute with the Double or Nothing, but excuse me. I mean, like I said, the final of the King of the Ring is fine. I expect decent, good matches out of Gunther, so it's nothing new. It's gonna be hard hitting.
That's what I mean.
It's gonna be physical. It's gonna be emotional. It's gonna have the false finish in the high spots, and just gonna be. It's gonna feel stiff because of Gunther.
But see, that's what I mean. Like, because I know how good Gunther is, and I know how good Randy is, I expected more, you know? I expected it to be better than it was because I know how good those two are.
Yeah. And it's not like they didn't have time. They gave time.
Yeah. It just felt like, I don't know, like, it just felt like the chemistry was not there, you know?
I mean, yes, Ian. Jerry did carry his crown, but more often than not, when he had the right crown that was for his head, he wore it. When he was holding it, that means they gave him a crown that didn't feel good on his noggin. So you hold it. But when you have the crown that feels good on your noggin, oh, he'll put it on in a heartbeat. And I tell you which crown it is. It's the real cheapo crown. The one which is just a crown and like the little brim, like the poofy thing. But like if he had the real looking crown, like the one they gave Brett at the first King of the Ring, he always holds that one. Those don't feel good on the noggin. So he'll wear that other one because it feels good on the noggin. And he'll carry the other one. But anyways, main events. Cody Rhodes endorsed undisputed WWE channel versus the United States champion Logan Paul. I mean, it's kind of what you expect from a Logan Paul match because it's all just for clicks and social media stuff for later. Like let's look at it. Any match with Logan Paul at this point is mostly a publicity stunt for social media clicks. We get the obligatory fight toward near the hydration station. We get the obligatory Logan Paul's gonna stream himself diving off the top rope onto the table. We get the obligatory the friend offering him a brass knuck, where you would think at this point you would bar any of Logan Paul's entourage from ringside at this point, since it's always the same way. And we got all that. We got all those things. The false finishes, the I pressed the button to do my opponent's finisher. We did it all. And at the end, Cody walks away with the dub because that's the way it was always gonna be.
It's just you get all the same spots you get in every single Logan Paul match.
Yeah, and you get the obligatory celebrity of the day coming in. In this case, we get the guy from Saudi Arabia because we're in Saudi Arabia. And then he gets involved. We get Habibi. And the Habibi come and he helps out Cody Rhodes because, you know, he's a good guy. Cody's a good guy. Endorsed. You know what I'm saying? So it was a typical match. It had all the bells and whistles where it's like, yeah, it's a competent match. It's a fine match. It's all in the good fun. Yeah, shout out to Habibi, guy with two names. Big ups. Habibi was there. He helped out Cody Rhodes to win the match against Logan Paul. He's like, no, Logan, you're not going to cheat. Habibi say no. Habibi say no. And then, like, yeah. It's the same old shit you get from the Logan Paul match. That's why I'm like, yeah, I need to hurry up and just take the title off of him. Because it's starting to become cliche, and it's going to lose any real appeal. It only works in the Saudi Arabia and stuff because the kids love him. Like, he's an attraction. He's an attraction, but take the U.S. title off of him already.
Seemed like they were teasing something with him and Graves.
I don't know. Maybe, who knows? I know there was talk in the past about Corey Graves was cleared to compete.
He's cleared.
Yeah, I know.
And I heard that he's supposed to wrestle like part-time. Like he's gonna wrestle like a part-time schedule. So maybe, you know, it seemed like they were kind of teasing something with him and Logan Paul. I don't know. Fuck Logan Paul, man. Like, honestly, fuck Logan Paul. Like, I could care less. I didn't even watch that fucking match. As soon as I knew it was gonna be that match, I turned that shit off. Because anything is better than watching a Logan Paul match. Getting a tooth pulled is better than watching a Logan Paul match. Just fucking take the title off him. Just put the fucking title on LA Knight already. Fuck Logan Paul.
Yeah. I mean, it's the truth. This is, you know, here at Clickbait, this is what we think of Logan Paul.
Brother, what's that?
Yeah, Logan Paul can
What's that,
shit.
brother?
Can't give him no love. You ruined YouTube for everyone.
He did though. Like that's the thing he did.
I know he did encourage others he did encourage others to go to Japan and act like assholes. So yeah, fuck him for that.
Bro, and you especially, a lot of the homies that we had like are not really on YouTube anymore because Logan Paul fucked it so badly. Bro, like a lot of the homies have kind of dipped.
It happened, man. But you know, just gotta move on now. It is what it is now.
Listen, man. You know, like it is what it is. At the end of the day, like I'm not like, you know.
Listen. I just, like I said, you know, you know how we do. as collectors, we speak with our wallets. So I don't have to support none of the dude's product. Like, I don't drink Prime Energy. I don't buy no merch. I never even watched any of his content. So outside of that time he did the thing where in Japan, I never watched the dude's content. So like, I don't support it.
Either.
I mean, you say you support it. You watch WWE, but I was watching that shit before this dude, and I'll watch it after him. I don't watch him. I don't watch WWE for Logan Paul. I watch WWE for wrestling. And right now we got Ila Dragunov and Ricochet in the ring. Why? We already had this match like last week, but we're doing it again.
You know what, Gojira? Like, here's the thing: if you like the match, if you enjoyed the match, like, that's totally fine. Like, that's totally fine. Like, I'm happy for you. But me, like, I'm not. I'm good. I don't need to watch. I don't need to watch a Logan Paul match. I didn't watch this pay-per-view live. Like, I watched this pay-per-view the next day, and I had the luxury of being able to fast forward that match to just see if anything was going to happen after the match. I didn't watch this pay-per-view live. I had that luxury of being able to do that, and I exercised that luxury to just be able to fast forward that match and see if anything happened. If you like that match, then I'm that's great, man. Like listen, like I'm not even trying to say it like that. I'm just, for me, like, I didn't watch it live. I fast forwarded that match.
Well,
'Cause
I did
could
watch
give a
it
fuck
live. I
about
did
Logan
watch it
Paul.
live, and I watched the whole thing live. And I'm like, hey, the pay-per-view itself, fine. If I was gonna give it a rating, I'd give it like a 3.5. It was average. It didn't do anything extra special. It didn't do anything to like blow my dick off. It was just like whatever. Like I said, and the 3.5 is only because of the finish of the Nia Jax match, because that shit was fucking funny, and didn't see it coming. It was one of those things like, oh shit, and it was just so real and raw that it's just like, you gotta just kind of like, yeah, all right, that was kind of cool. Plus, it was the finish. It was the finish. Like, that was it. Like, if Lyra Valkyrie kicked out of that, that would have killed everything. But that was the fucking finish. And I was like, yes, I approve. That's how you end the match. You big bitch just fucking lets gravity do the work and lands flat on your fucking chest.
Marin, if I'm being honest with you, I honestly don't believe he did. I don't believe Logan Paul has got new eyes on the product. I don't believe that for 1 second, because at the end of the day, the people that watch his channel, they're not gonna sit and watch a 3-hour pay-per-view just to see a 20-minute Logan Paul match. They're just gonna go on YouTube and they're just gonna watch the highlights of whatever Logan Paul did.
Yeah.
Don't buy this whole like, oh, you get some new eyes on the product. That's a load of horse shit to me. I don't think he does anything good.
I think if anybody got new eyes on the product as of recently, was the fucking Rock. Because it's the Rock.
Yeah.
If anybody got new eyes on the product, it was the Rock.
Like, I don't think Logan Paul is quite as good as people make him out to be. I think people are blinded because he's good for a celebrity. He's better than most celebrities that step inside the ring. And I think people see that and it blinds them into thinking that he's better than he actually is. But I don't think he is.
No, he's already really got a move, bro. You can already tell. I can tell you. I just told you earlier everything that he does, that he's done in every match already, because he dances the same beats. It's like John Cena. Like John Cena. It literally, we're gonna have a celebrity spot. We're gonna have a spot where the dude, one of his entourage, gives him brass knucks. We're gonna have a spot where we jump off the fucking turnbuckle onto the announce table. Yep. We're gonna have, spots where he tries to win by doing other people's finisher. And he's done this in every match already, that I can call it today.
Yep.
So like but the only thing that makes it like worthy of saying it's okay is that he is competent when he does it. He does a better buckshot lariat than fucking Hangman.
Debatable.
I mean, he gets it off more often than fucking Hangman does, and makes it look decent to a degree. But I'm like, that's not enough to carry the day. That's not enough to carry the day. It just tells me that you're competent in what you do, and that's like, hey, that's great. You won't get yourself and your opponent killed. So I mean, that doesn't earn you a cookie. That just tells you that okay, you're competent. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna sit here and suck his dick and be like, yo, he's the greatest thing to come to wrestling.
I'll give Logan Paul one compliment, and the only positive I'll give him is that he has, like you said, he's competent. Like he has a good understanding. Like when Rey Mysterio did that moonsault and he was gonna land on his head, and like Logan lunged to catch him. Like that was good. Like Logan Paul is super athletic. Like he's very athletic, and he has a very good understanding. Like he has very good timing. That's the most I can say about him.
And like I said, he'll put on a match that if he wasn't who he was, you would still be like, hey man, that's a decent wrestler. That's a pretty good wrestler. He knows how to play the part.
That's what I'm saying.
He's a good heel. He knows how to put on a promo. He has the tools. As Booker T would say, he's got all the tools, Michael. He's got all the tools. He can get the job done. He get the shug it, dug it, quack, quack. He got all the tools. He's got all the tools. But he's got all the tools for a basic wrestler. Your basic creator wrestler.
Yes. But that's what I'm saying. People overhype him. People overhype him like he's better than he is.
Yeah, because he's the internet person, and they wanna pretend like, oh well, look at this internet person. He went out there and he's in the WWE now, and he's making the money. And will other influencers want to transition? Because we had the Bad Bunny, and he too was another one. He's a competent. He's not the greatest wrestler. He's just competent. Because he respects it enough to be competent. Because he knows if he's not, he's gonna get hurt, or the person he's in the ring with's gonna get hurt. That's the thing. That the only thing he does is give it the respect to know that, like, hey, treat this shit with respect, or somebody's getting fucked up. Whether it's you or your opponent. And you don't want it to be your opponent, because then you're going to have a bunch of pissed off people, angry, jacked up men in the back waiting for you. So, it'd be in your best interest to do good. But I don't sit here and say like he's the second coming. It's like I said, he's an attraction. He's an attraction. They want to attract the younger audience. I get that. They want the internet crowd. I get that. He does draw attention to the product. Is it like breaking numbers? Probably not, because there's already the diehard loyals that are always there from the day one. Cats like me, cats like Matt, probably a lot of y'all in the chat, like the real wrestling fans. We're always here. So they're not worried about that. They just want to make sure we stay, and then occasionally they can bring in some new heads and some new money. And they've done that. They brought in some new heads. They brought in some new money. And as long as every time they go to a new town, new heads and new money show up with the regulars, that's all that matters. Whether or not you stay, hey, so like you said to me earlier, Matt, they got your money already, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't care if you stay for the show. You already paid for the show.
Basically.
So they can sit there and then they can tout out the numbers and they can boast about it on social media and do the flex so that other people will be impressed that, hey, these guys must be a big deal. That's why they do all this stuff. That's why they give all the championship teams in sports a belt when they win their championship series. So people can see their branding and resonate and recognize that, hey man, that's that wrestling company's belts. And they're wearing the belt now. So, like, it's all branding, man. It's all part of the machine. You can't be surprised about it anymore. It is what it is. Like I said, when you think WWE, think Disney. It's one and the same. Oh, and here comes Braun. Braun just fucking interrupted this whole match, huh? Just fuck up the whole show.
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker. Somebody needs to tell him to ease off the spray tan. He's looking like a carrot. Come on,
like
Scrap
the-
Iron, Scrap
he's like
Iron.
the
Put
most-
back on, put the singlet back on. Get back in the ring, Scrap Iron.
He's like the most jacked Oompa Loompa.
He is. He's the most jacked Oompa Loompa.
Bro, I kind of think it's like, is it gonna happen? I don't know, but like, because if they ever go back to like the Raw versus SmackDown Survivor Series thing, like I don't know if they still do that or not. I don't know. But like, let's say if they did, like, have like Nick Aldis versus Adam Pearce, man, like Battle of the GMs.
I still remember that
Like,
time Brock Lesnar F5'd Adam Pearce out of his pants.
Yeah. That was great. That was great.
He F5'd.
Adam
How
Pearce.
you do that though? How you F5 a man so hard
I
and
don't know.
explode?
Yeah, like it wasn't even like his pants, like it wasn't even like his pants came off. They like exploded off of his body.
How that happened, bro? It just. I'm sorry. It just like me thinking about Adam Pearce wrestling. I'm like, that was the first thing that just popped in my head. Is like, yeah, Brock Lesnar F5 the pants off this nigga.
Scrap Daddy's gotta have at least one match in his WWE tenure, man. He's gotta put on the singlet just one time, you know?
Acknowledge that he's a
Put on
former
the singlet
NWA
just one
champion.
Yeah.
In fact, they can acknowledge that
I
both
think-
men are former NWA champions.
I just think he's gotta get in that ring once, because I think the WWE casuals maybe don't know about Adam Pearce.
You don't know about Scrap
But I
Iron,
think,
son. You don't know about Scrap Iron.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know about the Scrap Iron. Like, he's got to get in the ring at least once, man. Gojira says F5 to Michael Cole. Only a shoe remained.
Yeah, that's true.
That's good.
But he made a man's pants explode off his body. Though.
Bro, yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Like he made his pants explode off of his body. Just his pants, like not the shirt.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
Where's I need Neil deGrasse Ice on this. I need a physicist like Neil deGrasse. How did this man's pants explode off his body from his F5? Was the force that strong? Did he really like hit him with the like the power of an F5 tornado? It just blew his pants off. Is Brock really a natural disaster?
When Brock comes back to WWE, they need to lean into that more. Like that needs to be his new gimmick. Like he just F5s people until their clothes explode off their body.
It's just like, yo, how you blow up people's pants like that?
Marin wants you to talk about NXT.
I mean, we talk about NXT. I just be forgetting sometimes because NXT is always tomorrow and shit. But like,
I mean, what is there to talk about?
I mean, if I recall, let me think. So Tony D'Angelo is now the current Heritage Cup champion. Whatever, man. He got to lug around that fucking trophy. I don't know why they don't just turn it into a belt.
I like that. You know what? I'm okay with that, man. I actually like Tony D'Angelo. I actually don't like NXT for the most part. I think NXT is kind of boring, but Tony D'Angelo for me is consistently the best part of NXT.
I mean,
Like
listen,
I
watch
think he's
NXT.
great.
I watch NXT every week. Okay, I watch it every week. It's just some of the
I
stuff
watch
that
it
they're
too. I
doing.
watch.
It's just like, okay, it's NXT. Like they're getting ready to have their battleground thing, and they're gonna get ready. They're setting up for the women's North American tournament. They're gonna have that ladder match. Oh, look, it's Kiana James, half white, half black girl, my favorite. She celebrates Black History Month. She's on Raw now. Yeah,
She had a match
what's up
being
with
on
the
Raw
what's
yet?
up? We're not in Saudi Arabia anymore. Why Kelly got the purple bodysuit on? Why she got the
Has
bodysuit
she?
on?
Has Kiana James had a match on Raw yet?
I think maybe.
Like outside of the Battle Royal? Like was she in the King of the Ring or Queen of the Ring? Like whatever.
No, I don't think she was in it.
Bro, Karrion Kross needs to shave that mustache. Because every time I see Karrion Kross with that mustache, I always assume he's on some kind of watch list. Like he looks like that guy that you don't talk to at the club. Like if Karrion Kross offers you a cocktail, like you decline. Shave the mustache, Kross. You can keep the glorious head of hair, but lose the mustache.
Oh my god. Truth in business dip off on a new day. Alright, girl, we out of here, bro. he, he called him Toka and Razor.
That's funny.
Miz wasn't gonna say strawberry. Alright, so now we got AOP, I guess, going up against the New Day tonight.
Nope. Looks like that is not the case.
They should rename them Toka and Razor. The Ninja Turtles. Why you don't like Karrion Kross's handlebar mustache? Does it frighten you too much, man?
Yeah, yes, it does actually.
That'd be alright. Oh, they're taking on who? The Creeds? The Creeds.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, while they're doing their thing, let's talk about Double or Nothing last night. from that one AEW. They had the buy-in show. We had a match with Diana Perazzo and Thunder Rosa. It was an alright match. Diana walked away with the win with the dirty pin, using the ropes for a little leverage. So that feud's gonna continue going, I guess. We had
it was
the trios.
It was it was Cage of Agony versus the Acclaimed.
Yeah, the Cage of Agony and the Acclaim. And again, whatever.
Did it look like something? Did it look like there was something off after that match? Like Billy Gunn looked like he was pissed off. Like he was pissed off, or like I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think he got hurt because he was laid up on the apron for a while, which was like a point I was saying to you before we went off. And like I said, I had a beef. One of my beefs with AEW in this show last night is almost every match had an apron spot. Like every match, it was like several DDTs on aprons, power bombs on aprons, just something on an apron.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It looked like either he got his bell wrong or like he was pissed, because like I don't know, man. He looked off after that match. I don't know if it was just me. I don't know if anybody else kind of thought that way.
I just noticed that he was kind of laid up on the floor, and like the ref and everybody was kind of around him, and he was definitely jaw jacking about something. So it's like either like you said, he was pissed or he was hurt. But like I just know like the match ended, they got out, and the Acclaim was just kind of doing their thing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It just looked to me like it was either like he got his bell rung, or like either he got his bell rung or he got not hurt, but like you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, he got a little bit.
Like either the move was too.
Alright, listen.
Yeah, like he either got a stinger, or either the move was too stiff. Like the move was stiffer than he was expecting. I don't know. He just looked kind of off after it. Like he looked like he wasn't really like celebrating with the Acclaim. Like he wasn't really celebrating. Like he was just kind of there, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know.
But then like we move into the actual show. We started with the International Championship. Roderick Strong defending against Will Ospreay. We also got a lot of like different commentaries throughout the show. So like it would switch up between Taz, McGuinness, Don Callis would pop up in from time to time. But yeah, it was a good match. The Ospreay Roderick Strong was a good match. It sucks that Roddy had to lose the title, but
I sort of would have liked that. I sort of would have liked him to have a longer title reign, but once Roderick Strong pinned Will Ospreay in that tag team match on Dynamite, I knew that his days were numbered. But
we transitioned from that match. Okay, here's another beef that I gotta call though, because we can't skip what happens after the match. So we get involvement from Undisputed Kingdom. We get the Kingdom. We get Wardlow show up to try to interfere, but still to no avail. You know, like I said, Roddy ends up losing. Then as soon as we end that match, we get a returning Adam Cole, which is like, hey Adam, why didn't you help with this match? You clearly were here because you come out right after this match. So he comes out, he does his lip service, and then next thing you know, we get a little Tron vignette, not a vignette, but like a little scene going, hitting up MJF. What's up?
Let let me stop you for a sec. I think the reason why he didn't come out to help them because he feels like he shouldn't have to. Like he feels like they should be able to handle themselves. Like they should be able to take care of
Okay,
themselves. That's
I'll
my
concede to that.
understanding.
I'll concede to that because I'm not done. I'm not done. So we do the thing, hitting at MJF returning. He then does return, and kudos to him pulling a bit of a Triple H nod on his return with the leather denim combo going off. The only thing he was missing was the leather fucking Kango and shit. But coming out like the Triple H making his return to MSG, that was I noticed that. And then he comes out, does the thing, hugs Adam, and then kicks him in the dick and all that other stuff, drops him on his head. But it's like, okay, that now happened. Where's the Undisputed Kingdom? Your leader just got beat down. Where's Wardlow? Where's Bennett? Where's Taven? I can see Roddy not coming back out to help, but there's still 3 able bodies. What happened? That's the part I'm saying, like, what happened? What happened? That's why I feel like if this was something that was going to be done, this maybe should have been done later and not at the beginning. Because it's like,
From
not during the same match where your guys were literally just here a minute ago. So that means that when they went to the back, they can't be that far away because you came out right after them. Because Adam Cole came out immediately after the Ospreay Roddy match. He came out immediately after. So that means when they went to the back, they walked past you, bro. So you mean to tell me they didn't see that you was catching the beat down from MJF when he came out and couldn't come out for the save? I mean, just like perspective-wise. I know storyline-wise, they're not going to do it. I get that. But perspective-wise, it looks kind of dumb because your boys were just here. It's not like this happened later in the show and then I can understand like, oh, they left already or blah, blah, blah. They left to check on Roddy and you were alone. But you clearly weren't alone because they just walked to the back. They just walked to the back.
Hold on. Maybe it's a thing. Maybe there's gonna be more to that. Maybe
there better be more to it because if they don't explain it, it makes the Undisputed Kingdom look kind of stupid. Because your man's just came out right after you and catches a beat down.
But maybe you just answered your own question. Well, maybe they didn't come out to help Adam Cole because, hey Adam, where were you to help us?
Maybe, but I'm saying I'm over here fancy booking then, because like I said, if they don't address it this coming Dynamite, then it's just gonna make the whole faction look kind of stupid. Since it's like you would think hand in hand, but that's like I said, that's what I took away from that little segment there. And then we get MJF. You see the thumbnail. He tatted it on his. I like how the tattoos on the lower part of his body that can be covered by his wrestling boots. Clever man, not an idiot, because he knows nothing's forever. Come on now.
Bro, can I cook for a minute?
Go ahead, man.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. I for the past 2 years, I'm gonna say this. I told every motherfucker there was never gonna be a bidding war. This whole like a bidding war of 2024. I told every motherfucker that would listen, there is no bidding war. There never will be. MJF is not going to WWE. Bro, I've been saying that for the last 2 years. He's not going to WWE. He wasn't gonna leave. There was gonna be no bidding war. I've been saying that because here's the thing: if MJF jumps to WWE, he instantly loses everything that makes him MJF. It would be career suicide. It was never gonna happen. Just never gonna happen.
I mean, I would believe that under the McMahon. I would believe that would happen under the McMahon regime. Maybe under the Papa Paul, it might be different, but I also agree. Like, I never thought the dude was gonna leave because he's got it better here than he would there. He's gonna be a small fish in a big pond if he goes there, unless they put the machine behind him. But they got enough people with the machine behind them already. They don't need another one.
Yeah.
They don't need him. They got CM Punk. They don't need him. Shit, we still got Rock and John Cena on call. Like, bro.
I'm just
Listen. They look at like a guy like MJF is like they know he's good, but they still know like, yeah, that dude's like 20 something. Come see me when you're like in your 30s, when you've been around long enough to really know how this shit works, and then we'll do business.
Yeah, maybe.
Until
I said,
make your name, be that guy, do the thing. Be AEW's pillar because they need God knows they need them. So, like I said, WWE don't need him at MJF.
Nah, they don't.
AEW needs an MJF.
Listen, I'm gonna say this: they don't need MJF. MJF is a piece of shit. Anybody that tells a 10-year-old girl Lomi is a piece of shit in my book. But I'm just saying that I knew from the beginning there was gonna be no bidding war. He was never gonna leave. That's it. You know, like I've been saying that. I've been saying that.
Off wrestling topic for a hot minute. I got a little like toy convention coming my way in like 2 weeks, and I got my list of things I'll be hunting for, son. I plan on picking them. If they there, I'm grabbing them, son. I got my list of who I'm looking for. I'm gonna be on that hunt, baby boy. And the list I got
what's on the list?
Okay, so I need that new Green Hulk, She-Hulk. Which, by the way, Target's already started dropping that wave. Because I went to Target this week, and they had all the Iron Man figures. The only one that was missing was that She-Hulk. And I was like, damn. Because I was like, if the She-Hulk was here, I would have had her. Okay. I'd have snatched that up.
That's the Iron Man retro wave, right?
Mm-hmm. It's already at Target now. In fact, there's been some toy reviewers already dropping reviews of She-Hulk. Because, like I said, it's been dropping in Targets. So I got the She-Hulk. I need Blob for my Brotherhood.
Yeah.
I'm still on the hunt for a classified Serpentor. I'm on the hunt for that classified Serpentor. And then, what was the other one? That one, no, Serpentor. And if possible, any of the new Spider-Men that are coming out soon. And, Master Nego. Master Nego. My generic black guy Jedi.
I definitely gotta have that Blob.
Yeah, that Blob completes the Brotherhood, son. And if I get lucky too, hopefully maybe I can find that Sabretooth 2-pack, because I haven't seen it around yet. So yeah.
Because I feel too like we probably not gonna get another Blob for a long time, because what other version of the Blob could you do realistically, right? Like, what else could you do with the Blob?
Not much. And like I said, the one they got coming out now is a pretty good representation. Like he can sit on that show for a while. Like, it's like, yeah, this Blob is good enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be on the hunt out for when this shit comes to my area. And like I said, anything like extra, like if I don't find no, like I said, couple Spider-Man, because like I said, you know, these dudes are getting stuff off the back of trucks because they be pulling shit out that still on pre-order and not even in stores. So I'm like, let me see what y'all got here, man. I know y'all be out here doing the dirty works. So yeah, that's the plan, man. That's why I held off, because I'm like, I ain't gonna do no hunting for a while just to stack the paper, so when it happens, I can go there and just drop it there and get what I need. Because the last time they came to town, I found a lot of tasty things. So that's why I found that body. That's why I found the full Krang over there when they came to my town. I found the Krang there, and I got a couple Marvel Legends, a couple Spider-Man.
Like that Krang's really nice.
Yeah, like listen, that was the shit for me. Was like it completed the collection where it's like, oh shit, I didn't never think I was gonna find like the Krang in the suit with the body suit. Because all I had was the regular Krang in the little walker. So it's like, yeah, I was gonna have to settle for that. And
the two-pack.
Yeah,
the two-pack one.
Yeah. So like once I found that shit, I was like, boom. And like I said, oh boy, I paid $100 for him, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm ever gonna get another chance. So I said, fuck it, I'll eat it. I'll eat it. Give me that shit. And the foot was broken on that bitch. I was like, if I don't care, I'll glue that shit the fuck on. I'll glue that shit the fuck on. I don't care. It'd be the one thing on his body that's not articulate. I don't care. The rest of this motherfucker's still good. Alright, so now we got Ludwig and Sheamus fighting in the back. What's popping? We brawling?
I don't think I've bought like any Turtles figures this year.
Oh, bro, Target's got a lot of new Turtles right now, and I'm like, I don't want none of them. In fact, they got the Officer Rex, and I passed.
Oh, you didn't get the Rex?
Bro, I don't.
The Rex one?
They had the dark one and the regular one, and I passed on both. They got the Usagi and the samurai outfit. They're re-releasing all the Turtles in singles, and they re-released all like the 2-packs of like those extras from the last few waves that they did, and I'm passing on all of that. All the comic book stuff. They got a bunch of Baxter Stockmans and characters. I'm like, bro, I don't need none of this. And I'm like, the Rex looks good, but I'm like, bro, my shelf is full. My shelf is full. I can't.
Did you get at least the regular Usagi?
Of course, I've been had regular Usagi.
Okay.
That's the reason I don't need the samurai Usagi, because I have a regular Usagi.
Yeah.
That's why I even saw the space Usagi once and I passed, because it's like, I don't need it. I got a regular Usagi. Don't need it. Like I said, the turtle shelf is done, bro. Like, to get the Rex would be like, it would actually put more weight on it. And I can't. Like, it looks good. And it's still there. And like, I have opportunity right now, but it's like, I can't. The turtle thing is done. It is actually factually done. It's at that point where it's no tilts. We're at no tilts. I can't do any more. I can't afford any more turtles. And I'm not even talking about I can't afford in the money sense. I can't afford anymore. Like, the real estate's not there for them. The real estate is not there for them. But it is what it is. I'm sorry. We talking toys here. We all have about wrestling. It's a commercial right now, though. But we got Damage Control coming out. But anyway, what was I saying? Okay, so yeah, MJF basically stating that he's not going nowhere. He's had his body. He ain't fucking leaving. And we move on from that, which is fine, whatever. It's cool. He did his little spiel. The people loved it. And what was the next match after this? This was it was a trios title, wasn't it?
Yeah, it might have been.
For the trios title, Death Triangle versus the Bang Bang Gang. Which again, it was a fine match. But
are they okay? Hold on, real quick. Are they like? Are they dropping the Bullet Club Gold name?
They've been dropped Bullet Club Gold. That's why they're the Bang Bang Gang.
Why do you think that is?
Probably because they probably couldn't use Bullet Club anymore.
Bang Bang Gang sucks, man. That's the stupid thing.
I mean, it's just their way around it. It is what it is. You've seen it before. That's why the Dudley Boys are Team 3D when they're at TNA. You know, it's just what it is.
Yeah. Jimmy Lee says he's gonna buy us all turtles. I assume that means everybody in the chat as well.
You better buy everybody in the chat turtles too, Jimmy, because you balling like that.
Yeah. And you committed to it now because YouTube is forever.
Yeah, you can't take that back because it's in the chat.
Yeah.
It's in the chat.
Yeah.
You can't take that back. You can't take that back, Jimmy. Haha, you played yourself. But yeah, so like I said, the trios match was fine. We get the return of Rock Hard, Juice Robinson to help the gang win and retain the titles. Now, question: Do we freebird the trios with Juice back in the mix?
I think so.
Or we just keep it as is.
I think we're gonna. I don't know. I think we're gonna freebird it.
I just hope. I would kind of wish they'd get rid of some of these belts. They got way too much hardware on them, bro. It just looks ridiculous now.
Yeah, they have to drop the two separate titles and just keep the one unified title. Now, also something to note, not that this matters to any degree, but they acknowledge that as of Dynasty, it's a new lineage on the trios titles. So they kind of acknowledge like Bang Bang Gang are the first champions. So Death Triangle if Death Triangle would have won, they would have become the second tag team champions. So this is technically a brand new title. It's got a brand new lineage.
So what they just scrubbing the previous champions of House of Black, Death Triangle, and the Elite? Or that's just the AEW Trios title lineage?
Yeah, like, so I guess whatever the previous AEW Trios lineage is done. Like, it's done now. Like, I guess, Bang Bang Gang are the last champions, I guess. Or however.
Or you mean the Acclaim were the last trios champions?
Yeah, like the acclaimed were the last champions. Like once the Bang Bang Gang won it, it started a new championship with a new lineage, which I whatever, it doesn't matter, but not a big fan of that, but
so we got Lyra Valkyrie taking on Kairi Sane. She better be taped up.
yeah, that match, it was what it was. Like, I think it was more just a vehicle to get Juice Robinson back. I think it was just more a vehicle for that. I would have liked to see Death Triangle win, but I guess it is what it is, you know.
So who's winning this though, Lyra or Kairi? Who you got?
Probably Lyra. Probably Lyra.
I mean, they're definitely trying to push her. They've been pushing her like ever since like when she was in NXT. They definitely see something in this girl. I mean, I never really watched much of what she did when she was in like NXT UK, so I can't really speak for her skill level as of yet.
Yeah. I would personally, I think that Juice Robinson should just it should just be Juice Robinson and the Guns, and then I want Jay White to go after singles gold.
I agree.
Like Jay White. Like okay, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. But like, maybe Jay White is another potential candidate to take the TNT title off of Copeland, because I think Jay White should move on to chase singles title, and let Juice Robinson and the Guns have the 6-man titles. But all right, so after that we have the women's title, Tony Storm and Serena Deeb.
The
I thought
professor.
this match was decent.
It was a decent match,
Yeah, I
but
thought this
it's
it was
funny
a decent
because
match.
Serena's supposed to be the babyface in this, but the crowd is cheering for Tony Storm. Like they gave Serena Deeb nothing, bro. Like everything
Tony
she did,
Storm.
any kind of offense that Serena did, they were cheering for Tony to come back.
Yeah, Tony Storm is unbelievably over right now.
But how is the
She's
women's
just
title so low in the
unbelievably
card, and then the host title is considered one of the main events? Make that make sense, though.
Because Mercedes Monet's star power is bigger than that of the women's title.
But you shouldn't I like it. But I mean, if you were Tony, though, I'm like, okay, you would at least think, have the women's title at least be higher up in the card, so at least it would feel like it's part of the main event. Because it's like you had the three. They had the three main events they booked as the host title, the world title, and then the Anarchy in the Arena. You could have mixed in the women's world title in that combination to at least make it feel like it's important. But you bump it to what, third match on the card?
I mean, again, it's a thing where, like I said, like Mercedes is a bigger star.
Yeah, I'm not questioning that.
It's not.
I'm just saying, as in
It's not
by
just that.
by a perspective and booking standpoint, as a booker, it's like, okay, sure, you got this big star competing for your mid card title. That's fine. It elevates the mid card title, but don't forsake that for your women's world championship, because now you're just kind of making your world champion seem lesser than the person that's about to become your mid card champion. It's making the champion look lesser. It's making the title look lesser. That's my beef. I'm not sitting there saying don't put Sasha Banks, but it is though, because this is not even the first time that they've done this to the women's title in AEW, where the host title got more press over the women's title. This is not the first time they've done this. And it keeps making the women's title, seem lesser than the host title, when the host title is literally supposed to be the mid-card title for your women. But you're having matches where the host title headlines while the women's title is third in line in the card. And like I said, this is not the first time this has happened. Especially when Tony Storm has been champion. So, like, yeah, she's over as fuck. She might not have the star power, but you're not booking her to at least have a perception of star power. You're booking her middle of the card.
That's where they want Tony Storm to be placed, because her placement is like, okay, you have a really fast-paced, exciting title match to kick off the show. And then you have a really fast-paced 6-man title match, and then now you have the women's title match where, like, okay, now we're gonna slow down a bit. We're gonna let people catch their breath a little bit. We're gonna give them a more work rate match. We're gonna give them more something where they can sit down and they can just ease back into the show. Like they're not watching a Tony Storm match on the edge of their seat. I think that's why that's positioned where it is, and because they don't want to they don't want to have they want to have one women's match earlier in the show, and then they want to have one women's match later in the show. And I think it's not so much Mercedes, but I think it's the storyline between the storyline between Willow and Mercedes was more important than the storyline between Tony Storm and Serena Deeb. Like I think that's why Tony Storm gets that positioning, because it's after they have two fast-paced, exciting matches, and they need a match that's more character-based, that's more work rate, so people can kind of catch their breath.
Well, then you could have
Come off
dumped
the edge
you
of
could
your
have
seat a
dumped that
bit.
non-necessary match of Trent Beretta and Orange Cassidy then. Because that match really didn't need to be in the card, and it definitely should have been higher booked than the motherfucking women's title. Especially for
Yeah,
a match,
I don't know. It's
especially a
fine.
match that had no stakes in it. And I know you are a man who likes their match to have some stakes. This match had none. But it got higher in the card than the Women's World Championship. No way.
What do you mean this match had? What do you mean this match had no stakes?
There was no title involved. There was no. It's an Alpha Blood
It's not
grudge
about a
match.
title. It's
But there was nothing
it's a
for it
storyline.
though. Yeah, it is storyline that you could have done earlier in the match, earlier in the card, not before the women's title. Listen, I'm a firm believer that all title matches should be done after all. Any single match that is non-title should not go before a title match.
I think you're putting too much emphasis onto positioning.
No, it is because it's supposed to be more important because you're now fighting for the prize. You're fighting for the prize. Especially if it's a bigger title, especially if it's your like main world title, it should be more held in a sequence of like, okay, mid card. Like, sure, I know sometimes mid card titles will get main events based off of people who hold the titles, granted. But I'm saying at least, like, okay, I'll give TNA like this. TNA will have matches where they'll do all their singles matches or non-title matches first, and then every match afterwards is all the titles. Whether it be all in success, whether it be the X Division first, or the world title first, or the X Division gets the main event, but all the titles are now the next matches after all the non-title matches have happened. Unless it's some kind of grudge match, maybe it'll be in between, or maybe a Monsters Ball. But but I'm saying the women's title should not be this lower in the card.
But it will be as long as it's held by Tony Storm.
Well, that's not my fault.
Because that's Tony Storm's position in the card.
Oh, that's not
but
my
that's
fault.
Her position. Like that's.
But it shouldn't be. You're the women's world champion.
I'm just telling you what it is.
But then if that's the case, then they should have gave Tony the host title and give someone else the women's world title. She's you're mid card and you're world champion, and main event in your mid card. You need to flip that.
Mercedes is bigger than the title.
Then she should have been
than the world title.
Listen, then they should have found a way to get the title off of Tony, put it on Willow, said that then fucking Monet could have took it from her, and then give fucking Tony the host title.
I mean, yeah, they could have, but that's not what they did. So like, it is what it is. Like, that's Tony Storm's position in the card. Tony Storm is that cool down match. That's what it is. That's just what it is. Whether we like it or not, like that's just what it is.
Trash.
That's the role Tony Storm is playing right now, because right now she's doing more character work versus doing actual wrestling. Like it's more about the character. Like she doesn't wrestle the same as she did pre- 'Timeless Tony Storm. 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 Tony Stor Like she's more now about being a character, doing character work versus like I'm trying to have like a 5-star wrestling match. So that's why she's positioned in earlier in the show. Was the Boogeyman ever semi-main event? No, because it's more character stuff. You have that earlier in the show. Yeah, like Ian said, the popcorn match. That's the best way to describe it. It's the popcorn match. Like whether we like it or not, like that's what it is. Uh, I just want to go back to Marin earlier. This is the Orange Cassidy Trent Beretta match had no stake, which again I already disagree with that because again this is a grudge match. For all you people that are constantly complaining about no storylines, this is a storyline based grudge match. And I think Marin, I think the thing with not doing it on Dynamite is they wanted Orange Cassidy to be on the pay-per-view. I think they could have did it on Dynamite, they could have did it on Collision, they could have did it on the pre-show, but I think it's more they wanted to have Orange Cassidy on the pay-per-view versus having that match on the pay-per-view. I think it was about just getting OC on the pay-per-view.
Well, like I said, I still didn't care for that match.
It was fine. Like it was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. Like I didn't love it. Like it wasn't like my favorite match, but I wasn't like offended that it was there.
I wasn't either, but I don't think it needed to be on that high in the card though.
No, but again, like did it ruin the pay-per-view for me? No. Did it make the pay-per-view better for me? No. It was just there. I watched it. It was fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But what else we have?
Actually, funny enough, the next match is Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta, but I guess we kind of already talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, we have Chris Jericho. We have the triple threat with Jericho, Hook, and Shibata for the FTW title. Yeah, again, it was fine. Thought it was fine. It was what I would expect out of a FTW title. Like the FTW title is just basically the AEW Hardcore Championship. That's all it is. Like I thought it was fun where Jericho dumps the bag of dice, and then they both slam him in the dice, and then they start picking up the dice and throwing it at him.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny. Again, you know, like I'm always happy to see Shibata. Like, you know, Shibata's another guy like a Adam Copeland that was basically his career was ended, and now he's getting a second chance to have a career. Like I'm never gonna complain about getting a Shibata match. It was fine. You know, Big Bill comes in, goes through a table, almost gets impaled.
And then, boy,
you know,
woo.
Bro, yeah, like he was like, fuck. You know, there was some force that was looking out for him that day because he was very close to being hurt pretty bad. And then Ryan Keith comes in, helps Jericho win. We'll have to see what happens with Brian Keith. Like, is Brian Keith gonna join the Learning Tree, or is it just a thing where Chris Jericho hired a bounty hunter to help him out? I don't know.
I don't need Jericho to retire.
Yeah,
I just need Dad Bod Jericho to kind of dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, I don't agree with the Jericho retiring thing. I still think Jericho's doing great work. I don't
I just think
I
you need
kind
to
of don't
dial it
agree with the
back though with
Jericho
the
retire thing.
pretending to be a good guy thing. Just be the learning tree.
Yeah, like he's doing the whole innocent heel thing where he's like a heel, but he think like in his mind he's a baby face. Like in his mind he's like a hero, but he's like obviously a heel. Like it was kind of like when Johnny Gargano was a heel in NXT. Like he's like in his mind like he's the baby face. Like in his mind like he's the hero of this story, you know? Yeah, I thought that match was fine. I like what Jericho's doing with the FTW title. I like what he's doing with it. I like the learning tree. Like this is what Jericho does, right? He starts a faction with a bunch of nobodies and he makes them all stars. And that's potentially what we're seeing now. Like now that Big Bill's working with Jericho, his stock is gonna go way up. And if Brian Keith sits under the learning tree, then it's gonna be the same thing for him. Like that's kind of what Jericho does, you know. So yeah, I thought that match was fine. Again, wasn't my
I mean,
favorite match of the night, but
I will say yeah, that's it's true, but it's not guaranteed though. Because the Jericho
no,
Appreciation
it's not a
Society
guarantee.
didn't spawn like some big stars. Like they still just slumming it about.
But I mean, like, look at Daniel Garcia. Look what he was doing before Daniel Garcia joins the Jericho Appreciation Society. He's in Ring of Honor. Now look at him. Now he's almost like he's like a top star now. Like what was 2.0 doing for Jericho Appreciation Society? They were on like AEW Dark. Now look at them. So I think that's the Jericho effect, so to speak. It doesn't always work out that way, but when you're put in a position where you're gonna be with Jericho and you're gonna work with Jericho, it's putting them in a sink or swim situation. It's like, well, if you can't get over with Jericho, then you can't get over at all. All right, after that we got Moxley and Takeshka. Thought this match was okay.
It was for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
It was not. This is an eliminator match.
It wasn't eliminated because I could have sworn they said it was for the title.
No, not for the title.
Oh, okay.
But again, this is like very much like the Orange Cassidy match, right? Like I think this was just a vessel to get John Moxley on the pay-per-view. I again, like having this match, it didn't ruin the pay-per-view, didn't make the pay-per-view any better. It was just there. It was just there. But I do like how much offense Takeshka got in. I like that they actually like even though he lost the match, I like that he looked strong in the match. As for a good part of it, he was just kind of beating the shit out of Moxley. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was.
Uh, Gojira, I don't think there's a single person on this planet that likes that belt design. I don't think anybody likes that belt design.
What, the
Even the
IWGP?
wrestlers. Yeah, like
Yeah, it's
nobody
not.
likes that design.
It's not the greatest. They should have stuck with the previous
Like
version.
even they absolutely should have.
Like I think that's version 4 or version 5. They should have stuck with that one.
Yeah. Um. Alright, so then after that we have the which certainly for me a contender for match of the night. We have the barbed wire steel cage match. Adam Copeland, Malachi Black for the TNT title. I thought this match was really good.
Hey, wow.
You know, like this Ian, I don't know if you're still there, but this is how you book a cage match. This is how you book a cage match. Like both guys are bloody, both guys are hurt. That's how you book a cage match. You know what I'm saying? It felt like an old school cage match because yeah, in a match where you're surrounded by steel, you should get busted open.
Yeah, there's a lot of blood.
Right
They
or
went hard with the barbed wire.
right or wrong. Right or
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
Like that's what a cage match should be. Like in a match that's contested inside a steel cage, I want to see that blood because I want you to sell how dangerous this match is, and I think they certainly did that. Uh, Copeland takes a really gross bump off the top of the cage. Basically, basically does an elbow drop off the cage.
He basically kind of lands on his feet
Lands
on it, pretty much. Like lands on his feet.
lands up. Yeah. Hold on. Just going back. Yeah, a good point, Marin. Moxley did not get busted open, which, see again, that's another thing that I enjoyed is none of the other matches had blood. They saved the blood for the cage match. That's another thing where I'm glad John Moxley didn't get busted open. I'm glad like Will Ospreay didn't get busted open. They saved it for the cage match. So by
No,
the
Will,
time
I
you
think
get
Will
to the
Ospreay did get
cage
busted
match,
open though.
like he wasn't like he might have got busted open the hard way. Like he wasn't like leaking though.
Nah.
Yeah, yeah. So Copeland does a nasty bump. Gross. But you know, he finishes the match. We get they did some fun stuff with the barbed wire. The fight ends up outside the cage, and then Matthews and Brody come in. They tease like they're gonna turn on Malachi and join Copeland, but then it's like, oh, psych, and then it's a 3-on-1 beatdown, and then Gangrel comes back. Gangrel comes in and makes the save. I thought that was really fun. Like I know Adam Copeland wanted Gangrel to be a part of his final WrestleMania match. That when they did Brood Edge versus Demon Finn Balor, like I know he wanted Gangrel to be a part of that. For whatever reason, WWE opted not to go in that direction. So I'm glad he got to have his moment with Gangrel here. But then yeah, when all is said and done, Copeland retains the TNT title.
Uh-oh, Dragon Lee going up to the top. About to put Balor through the announce table. But oh, Damian Priest. Uh-oh. Oh, but Damian Priest about to get hit with the 619. No. It's a nice super kick from the champ, and now he about to go south of heaven. All right, that's what's up. I don't know what they're doing with
Like,
Judgment
are
Day
they
right now. Like, what's the angle
like?
here?
Isn't this kind of just the same thing they did with JD McDonough? Like, aren't they just kind of repeating the same thing? Where JD McDonough wanted to join the Judgment Day, and Damian Priest kept saying, "No, you're not a member. You're not a member. You can't join our club." And then everybody else was like, "Oh, come on, man, let JD in. Like, JD's cool. Like, let him in. Let him in." And he's like, "Nah, nah." Blah, blah, blah. And then eventually he acquiesces and lets JD McDonough join. It feels like they're just doing the same exact storyline, but with Carlito now. Is it just me? Am I wrong? It's like it's literally just copy and paste.
Now we got the Alpha Academy here tonight, getting chewed out by Master Gable.
What if never mind. What if Tyler Bate was in charge of Alpha Academy?
Mm.
What would you think about that?
Think about what now?
Like, what if Tyler Bate was in charge of Alpha Academy? Like, if he was the leader of Alpha Academy, like if he was the new master of Alpha Academy, right?
YouTube, that burger was straight bussin', son.
Maybe it'd be Boston. I don't know.
So, like, instead of Master Gable,
I don't know. Plus, he's in the whole New Catch
You'd have
Republic thing with Pete.
you'd have Tyler Bate, right? Like, he would be the new master.
The Master Bait, really? Is that what you was doing? That's what that was? The
Yeah.
setup was for the Master
I was-
Bait?
Yeah, I was trying to lead you there.
You son of a
It's
bitch.
good. That was good.
Son of a bitch. But alright, so what match we on now?
Hold up. Ian says pretty much the same thing with Jericho and all his factions, cut and paste. Just the same thing with a different name. Yeah, you're right, Ian, but at least they're creative enough to come up with a different name, right? Like WWE's just kind of doing it with the same exact faction, same exact members, same exact name. Everything is exactly the same except instead of JD McDonough, it's Carlito, but everything else is virtually the same. Okay, so after this, this is where we kind of get our triple main event, which I don't buy the whole thing of like a triple main event. To me, there's only one main event, and it's the match that goes last. But we got Mercedes and Willow. I like this match more than I thought I would.
Yeah, it's a good match. I just feel like the ending should have happened before the actual finish to kind of like not take some steam out of Willow like that. Because it's like, okay, you lose the match pretty clean, and then you get jumped by your bestie after the fact. So you lose steam and you lose the heat and the steam. But it was like, at least if you lost via your best friend betrayed you, you wouldn't lose some of that steam. You just lose the heat, but you wouldn't lose the steam.
Do you think though it's because they want to keep Mercedes as a babyface versus making her look like a heel?
But that's the thing. You would
Because
have
I
took that
because
off her if it was Statlander that cost her the match instead of her just winning it clean. You already had the easy out in Statlander and Stokely. You had the easy out.
but it's because
But because
if
you did
Chris
it after the
Statlander,
fact, it doesn't. It like listen, Monet was gonna be babyface anyway because they were mostly chanting for her regardless. But I'm saying if you wanted to reinforce more of a babyface thing, then you would have just kind of let it happen and let Statlander and Stokely get involved and cost Willow the title. Instead, she just lost it clean to Monet, and then they jump her after the fact, where it's like, cause like as soon as she won the title, she got the fuck out of Dodge. That's how I knew something was about to happen. She wins the belt,
yeah,
she
she
gets
got
the
out of
fuck
there
out of
quick.
Dodge.
Yeah, she got out of there quick.
Yeah, so I already knew something was about to happen. But it was
But I
like,
mean, like,
but that was one of those things where it's
let,
like it
let's
would have
say,
made more. It would have made more sense if it happened during the match instead of after the match. That's all I'm saying.
but let's say Chris Statlander interferes in the match and takes out Willow Nightingale, and then Mercedes capitalizes and pins her. Doesn't that kind of make Mercedes come off as a heel because
No, no,
she's
because
taking advantage?
she had no part in the breaking up of a friendship. She's just gonna be the victim of circumstance of that Kane. Like it's not really a heelish move because she didn't make it happen. It happened on its own. She had no knowledge that her opponent's best friend was gonna turn on her. It's the same way how like when Chavo came and knocked Rey Mysterio out for Booker T to get the win. Sure, Booker's already the heel, but in the circumstance, it doesn't matter because Booker T didn't have no knowledge that Chavo was coming to do that. In fact, he thought Chavo was coming to hit him. So you just take advantage. Same thing when the Hardy Boys, when Matt did it to Jeff, and Edge took advantage. It really doesn't matter who gets the pin, even if it's a babyface that gets the pin. It doesn't hurt it. It doesn't hurt them because they're not in the knowledge of knowing that was gonna happen. Meaning, I didn't know your best friend.
No,
I didn't know your brother. I didn't know your man's was gonna come here and knock you out. I expected him to knock me out. It's the same way how
but then
it's the same way during the cage match when the House of Black shows up, and at first they're over there with Malachi, and then they walk over to Copeland thinking like, oh shit, they about to fuck up, they about to fuck up Malachi, and then they're like psych and contest the beating up on Copeland, where it's like, yeah, that's his man's in them.
but I guess what I'm saying is like if Mercedes wins by cheating, it makes her come off. It makes her come off as a heel. Like it makes her look
But that's
very
the thing.
heelish.
She's not the one that cheated. In the event of a friend turning on a friend in a wrestling match, the opponent of that person is not responsible because they didn't orchestrate the hit. They didn't orchestrate the hit.
But
Even
it would still be dishonorable for her
yeah,
to
but
take
see,
advantage of
but in that case, they would probably put the situation where it'd be like they're gonna put Monet in a position where she didn't see it come. She didn't see it because she's incapacitated to a degree, so she doesn't see it happen. It happens to Willow by her best friend, so it's like okay, didn't see that coming. And then she would just basically see Willow down and then take advantage of a situation, not knowing how Willow got there, just knowing she's there. So she wouldn't get she's a heel because she abetted in the cheating. No, she's a victim of circumstance. But that's not what they did. They let her beat her clean and then did the turn. I just feel the turn would have made more if it happened during the match because now the feud is even personal. That not only you can say, oh, you jumped me on my weakest point, but like, no, you jumped me and not only cost me the title, but like I thought we were friends. You know what I'm saying?
I think, see, yeah, but I think if they do it that way, I think it leaves too many open doors. Or I think they just,
Not
I think
really,
they just
because
wanted Mercedes.
Statlander already has a story in play where she can take it to like why she would cost Willow the title, because it's like, hey, before you were champion, I was champion, and I never got my shot to get the title back,
Yeah,
but
but then
you piggybacked on me and got your way to the title and won a title that I never got a rematch for from the previous champion, that being one Julia Hart. So she
but
already
then
had
it but
motive
then
to
it
go heel on her.
but then it leaves Willow in a position where Willow could be like, "Hey Mercedes, like you owe me a rematch because you didn't beat me clean. Like the only reason you beat me is because Chris Statlander got involved. You didn't beat me clean." Whereas I don't think they wanted that to be in the air. I think they wanted Mercedes to beat her clean and then just move on, and then we're done with that. Mercedes is gonna move on to something else. Willow's gonna feud with Statlander. Whereas if they do it that way, then it sort of leaves that door open to where Willow could be like, hey, like you didn't technically beat me clean, like you took advantage after I got cheap shotted, like you did not do the you did not win honorably. Whereas I don't think they wanted to go in that direction. I think they just wanted Mercedes to just win, and then we're done with that. We're moving on now. But I do see what you're saying. I do see what you're saying, but I'm just saying that I think that's how they wanted it to go. I think they just want Mercedes to be done with Willow, and like they, like that she's gonna move on to somebody else now.
Bronson with the easy win over Otis.
I'm tired of seeing this match, man. I'm tired of seeing of Otis and Bronson Reed. I feel like they've been fighting a lot. Uh, Ian says he dozed off through that match, and Marin also says he dozed off during the last two matches. I don't know. That sucks for you guys because you definitely missed the best part of the pay per view. So that's too bad. Maybe go back and maybe go back and watch it. Like it's probably you can you can probably find it. Like you can probably jump on a boat and find it. Um.
Well, we got the world title
So then
next after that. And I mean, that was a good
yeah,
match with Swerve and Christian. It was a good match.
good match. Yeah, I like that match a lot. It's one of those situations where like obviously Swerve wasn't gonna lose, but it's a good match. Christian Cage continues to he just kind of continues to put out great matches. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Christian Cage is doing his best stuff right now.
Yeah, Christian Cage doing some of his just doing some of his best work.
I guess it was a good match. Good match for Swerve.
Good match.
You know, retain the title. Like I said, I never thought his title was any risk.
Yeah, like it's a thing where like Swerve is too fresh as champion. Like he wasn't gonna drop the title to Christian, but still still ended up being a good match.
Then we get to the main events, the Anarchy in the arena. I would say that like the best part of the match, to be honest, was the final countdown.
Uh, Marin says he did not care about the show. Like Marin, further elaborate on that. Like, did you just not think the show was very good? Like, did the show just not was the show just not what you wanted, or did you just not care going into the show? Like, further elaborate on that. Like, did you just already go into it with a mindset of like, I don't care, but I'm gonna spend 3 hours watching it anyway? Or was it just the
I
thing
mean,
where
it's longer than
did
three
the show
hours.
just not live
That
up to
shit
your
is four. Bro,
expectations?
that shit is 4 hours, son. That bad
Well,
boy
because
is
he
four.
said he didn't. Well, because he said he didn't watch the last two matches, which I think the anarchy in the arena was probably like a half hour on its own.
Yeah, I mean, the Anarchy in the Arena, like I said, it started off like wild. You know, Darby came out and like his music just kept playing while they were wrestling. Next thing you know, the Bucks is like, "Hey, turn that shit off. Turn on our music." Then that shit went playing for a while. They fight, and then Brian's like, "Turn that shit off and play the best fucking music ever." And then we get the final countdown, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like where Matt's like, okay, he's like, okay, turn it off. It's costing me $200,000 every time we play it. I thought that was pretty funny.
It's like, we're on a budget here. I mean, they let it play pretty long. They played most of the song.
Yeah.
And then, like, once it got to like the riff, it was like, all right, cut it. That shit cost a lot of money. All right, so we got
I don't
Master Gable about to chastise his crew. Are they gonna leave him? Or are they gonna just take the abuse?
I think eventually they're gonna go on their own, and Gable's gonna end up. I think Gable is gonna end up with the Creeds and Ivy Nile. I think they're gonna end up being a thing.
Yeah, but the Creeds just got squashed by AOP though.
See, that's why they need Master Gable to get them back on their winning ways. You know what I'm saying?
Why does he take his belt off? He's gonna spank him.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna give him a whooping? He gonna give him a whooping? Give him a whooping. But then we end up with after that, like I said, it's a typical match of a brawl through the arena, chaos everywhere.
Yeah.
At one point, Jack Perry tried to run Darby over. It was insinuated that he ran him over with like a truck. But
Yeah.
then at some point, we get back to the ring. Jack shows up.
I liked too where, so you know when the Elite do their entrance, like the thing opens up and they come up through the elevator.
Yeah.
You know, like I thought it, like I liked where they put Darby Allin on the elevator, and then they're like, okay, like take him down, and then like bring the screen down, like almost as a way to like trap him in like the backstage or something. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's like it is what it is. Like it's anarchy in the arena. Like it was a clusterfuck. They even told you what it was gonna be at the start of the match because Justin Roberts is like who's ready for the shit show or whatever. So they kind of already told you what it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Like I thought where they hung up Darby by his feet, and they put the boots with the thumbtacks, and they're like super kicking him as he's like hanging. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that looks pretty brutal. But before they hung him by his feet, he managed to set Jack Perry on fire. Which like I said to you before the show, like, how was that not the finish? You set a man on fire. How's that not the finish? How we still had to hang a man like meat to be the finish? And that wasn't even the finish. You hung a man like meat, you set a dude on fire, and then you hit a dude with a like Busaiku knee.
I'm not so much mad that it wasn't the finish, but I think like after that, like Jack Perry should have been out of that match. Like Jack Perry should not have come back. Like they should have had Okada get the winning fall or something.
Yeah, even Okada did a Rainmaker with an arm brace with thumbtacks on him and shit.
Yeah.
But the Elite walked away with the
I
win.
think, again, makes sense.
Show kind
Makes
of
sense,
ended
like-
kind of quickly though. Again, like almost like they were crunching for time on it because like as soon as the finish happened and like they got out the ring, it was just like okay, show them, and then the match just kind of the show just kind of ended. Like they had
Yeah,
to,
like
they had to get off the air.
like no illusion of like something's gonna happen after. Like yeah, like basically the match ends and they're like, all right, y'all have a good night. Like like TNA be doing that. Like whenever their pay-per-views end, it's like as soon as the bell rings at the main event, it's like you get that like TNA screen, like they're done. Like they're not even giving the winner of the main event a chance to celebrate. Like they're already out of there.
All in all, like the show was good. Out of a 5,
That was really good.
I'd give it a 4. It was a good show. I still think their shows run too long. Like I don't mind the number. I don't mind the number of matches. I just think some matches went a little longer than others. And like I said, pay-per-view should not be ending at like 1 o'clock in the morning. It really shouldn't.
Okay, I agree. I don't think it's that their pay-per-view is too long. I think it's just that it should start earlier.
Well, yeah, but like I said, then they need to change those things. But if they're going to continue to run them in the time that they do, they cannot be ending at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, like
especially
I think,
especially on a Sunday night when people got work in the morning.
Yeah, like 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock on a Sunday is too early for a pay-per-view to be ending. But I think that they need to start their pay-per-views earlier versus making their pay-per-views shorter, if that makes sense.
Because like I said, here's the thing. WWE used to do 4-hour pay-per-views. This pay-per-view was 4 hours. But the difference was when WWE did a 4-hour pay-per-view, they started an hour earlier. They didn't start at 8 o'clock. They started at 7 because they knew we got a 4-hour show and we want people out of here by at least 11 o'clock. At least 11 o'clock be out of here. But AEW wants to run this shit at 8 o'clock and then run the bitch until fucking midnight, almost 1 o'clock in the morning. And it's like you had a buy-in show where you ran a bunch of matches. Like, bro, you need to just start the show early and start the buy-in early because this 1 o'clock shit is not good. Because then at the same time, like, how would people... How you expect to get a younger audience if they can't stay up that late because your shit's running too long?
Yeah, like that's that's what I'm saying. Like I think versus shortening their pay-per-views, keep your pay-per-views the same length. I don't think it's an issue of their pay-per-views are too long. I think it's just that their pay-per-view should start earlier.
Yeah, that's it. Just start it earlier. That's all you have to do.
Yeah,
Start it earlier. But this is like it's that or cut some of the matches time down a little bit or something.
yeah, like Marin says, like if they're gonna like people gotta work the next day. Like it's not it's a like you don't want to put people in a position to be like exactly like Marin said, like he went to bed early, or like you don't want to put people in a position where they're not watching your main event because they're like, fuck, I gotta work in the morning, like I gotta go to bed. You don't want to put people in that position, and so you don't want to be having your pay-per-views ending at midnight on a Sunday when most people have to work. And I'm just saying for people that are watching, but like imagine if you're actually there, then you have to make your way out of the arena, you have to fight through the parking lot, you have to drive home, you have to go home, you have to get ready for bed. So I think just start your pay-per-views at 7. Start your buy-in at 5:30, start your pay-per-view at 7. That's what I would do.
Like I said, it was a good show. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was a good show. Yeah,
Now we got Liv Morgan here.
I
A
would
little
I would
promo package.
I can't give it I can't give it a 5. I can't give it a 5 because I don't think anything is a 5. I don't think anything is perfect. But I'd give it like a 4.5. Like I thought it was good. I liked it. Thought there was a nice variety. Yeah, exactly, Ian. Like that's the point I'm trying to make is like the people that are there, like like if the pay-per-view's ending at midnight, by the time you're by the time by the time you're getting out of the arena, getting in your car, driving home, then you get home, you go get ready for bed. It's probably like, it's maybe like closer to 2 by the time you're going to bed, and then if you got to get up for 6 the next day. Yeah, I feel you, Marin. I feel you. You gotta get your sleep for work. Like it is what it is. Like that's exactly the reason I didn't watch the Logan Paul match, because I watched it after my night shift, and then I came home and I was tired. Like I watched it after my shift, so I was tired. I was like, do I wanna go to bed, or do I want to watch Logan Paul? And I picked going to bed. So I get that. I respect that. I respect that. Yeah, I think just start the pay-per-views earlier. I don't think it's thing of the pay-per-view being too long. I think it's just more of a thing of start it a little bit earlier.
Wait, we're having a women's world title match in a steel cage?
That's right.
Wow. Wow.
Like I know like I know we're not I already know we're not seeing blood in this match. Oh yeah, yeah. I feel you. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Marin. That's early. I get it. Like you gotta work. You gotta work. You gotta work. That is what it is. I said it's especially worse that their pay-per-views ending so late, but especially that it's on a Sunday where most people they go to work. They go to work Monday morning. Again, for me Sunday night, I'm just kind of starting my weekend. So I'm in a position where staying up to watch the pay-per-view it's not it's not bad for me. But I get it. Like if you got to work early Monday morning, then yeah, you don't want to be staying up till midnight. Um yeah, I don't know, Ian. I'm less inclined to agree with you about the length of the pay-per-view. You know, I don't know. Like if you were standing for 4 or 5 hours, then okay, I would agree with you, but I don't know. Like when I go to work, I stand for 8 hours straight. So sitting for 4 hours, not that bad for me. But if that's kind of what it is, that's what it is. But I'm less inclined to agree about the length of the pay-per-view. I think the pay-per-view is a good length. I think it's just that it just started an hour earlier so people can be going to bed on a decent time, especially if you're running on a Sunday. Uh
Gotta
Kojira and Ian are
commercials.
they- they're very excited for this cage match. They're super hyped for this cage match. Again, I'm happy. I'm happy for you guys. Like if listen, man, if you guys are all for this, and I'm glad you guys are I'm glad you guys are getting what you want. But yeah, me personally, I've never cared about a match as little as I care about this match.
Hmm. Who's winning though?
Listen, man, you
Who's
got
winning
over.
though?
I don't care. Not the fans, that's for sure. Or at least not me. I'm certainly not winning.
Okay, but on real, I got a real term. What are the chances we get a hot potato?
Uh, I don't know because again, like theoretically, this could be Becky's last run. So I don't know. Probably I'm gonna probably take the safe bet and say live.
Remember when we was hot potato with it between Charlotte and Sasha?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. See, like me too, Marin. Like I'm basically like at my job, I'm basically standing all day. So the 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 sitting in an arena chair for 4 hours, that's not as unpleasant for me. So like again, I'm not as perturbed by how long the pay-per-view is. It's more just like started a bit earlier because people got to get to work Monday morning. That's sort of where I'm coming from. Oh, we didn't really want to touch on it, but kind of worth noting. And if this is an instance of WWE rubbing off on AEW a little bit, and I'm happy for it because I think it makes it better. So the winner of the two Owen Hart's tournaments are both gonna get world title matches at All In. Did you catch that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I meant to bring that up earlier, and I was thinking like, when you was talking about Natalia, like, what if she wanted to win herself an Owen?
Yeah, that would be that would be something. See, I don't think Becky leaves. I think Becky will end up re-signing, but Natalia, I kind of think she might leave. I could see Natalia dipping because I could see Natalia wanting to. I could see her being in a position where she's like, "Hey, man, like I wanna go see what's out there. Like I've never fucked around on the indies. Like let me go see what's out there, especially like with the relationship between Owen or the Owen Hart Foundation and Martha Hart and AEW. Like that could be that could be something where that could put her in a favorable position, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine if she enters the Owen Hart tournament as like a surprise.
Yeah.
That would be insane. I thought it was did you watch the I guess you didn't watch the media scrum after.
Nah, I didn't bother.
I I thought it was funny where so Tony Khan is talking about the winner getting a title shot and like Will Ospreay's there and like he had no idea what Tony Khan was talking about and then Tony Khan had to explain it. So like Will Ospreay is like he's like wait so the finals of the tournament are at All In and he's like no listen like the finals are gonna be in Calgary the winners are gonna get a title shot at All In and he's like oh it's a tournament like can I be in it like it was like it was pretty wild like they're doing a media scrum and like it's like Tony Khan just had to just kind of explain to him that like what the Owen Hart was. Ian, did you talk to Natalia? Did she tell you directly that she has no love for Martha Hart? Like you got her on the line and she told you that directly? Like, has she ever publicly
Now
said
here's the
that?
question. I
I've
kind
never.
of figured if the winner of the Owen gets a title shot at All In, then it was probably gonna be Ospreay winning that Owen.
But see, now I'm not sure because now he's got the international title.
Please, he can lose it between
But
then and now.
true, true, true. I mean, if we get Swerve and Osprey at All In, I wouldn't be mad at that. Okay, Gojira, I hear what you're saying, but did they say Talia's name directly? Like, and listen, like you know, Bret Hart and Vince McMahon did not like each other for many years, and they patched it up. CM Punk and Triple H did not like each other for many years and they patched it up. So who's to say that who's to say that after Martha came back into the wrestling world,
It's you.
who's to say that maybe they reached out and they're like, "Hey, like it's cool what you're doing for Owen," or who's to say, you know? Like that's all I'm saying. Like I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm not saying you guys are wrong to any degree. I'm, I'm just saying like lots of stuff could happen. Like who's to say that fences weren't mended, you know?
Alright, pinfall, submission, and escaping the cage with both feet touching the floor. That's
Typical cage match. Uh, yeah, like Gojira, I'm don't get it the wrong way, Gojira. Like I'm not trying to say you're wrong or I'm not disagreeing with you in any kind of way. I'm just saying that maybe it's something where they worked it out. Even if it's just a hypothetical scenario, it would be cool to see Natalia show up and be in the like have an actual Hart family member in this Owen Hart tournament that's dedicated to Owen Hart, like have an actual Hart family member involved, you know? I mean, if they don't like each other, then that's what it is. And again, I'm not even saying Natalia's gonna leave and go directly to AEW, but I'm in a in the hypothetical world that I'm creating, it would be kind of cool to see.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh man. I hope there's some blood in this cage match, but I doubt that. Unless it happens the hard way.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Maybe we can get lucky, but I doubt it though. But yeah, bro, I'm psyched. I'm psyched about this toy fair though, man, because it's like I know they're gonna have some shit. Every time I've been to one of them when they come here, they be having shit that's not available yet. Like, oh,
when is when is it?
like in 2 weeks.
Nice. Nice. I'm
So like I
honestly
said,
surprised they haven't.
I'm gonna kind of hold off on the hunt to save up some money, but also like I'll still look, but I'm gonna hold off on so that way I can I think Davy Boy's I think he's already booked. I think because he's with MLW. He's with MLW.
Yeah, I don't know if he's exclusive to MLW, but he's with World Titan Federation or whatever it is.
Yeah. So
Like weren't him and Filthy Tom tag team champions not that long ago?
they were, yeah. I gotta get back on the MLW, man. They content be so sparse sometimes. It's hard to keep up with their shit. Yeah. They don't have any like regular TV, and the YouTube shit be sparse sometimes.
Yeah, me too. I try to I try to catch up, like stay up to date as much as I can, but like again, like they don't have a regular like weekly show. So you just get like a random pay-per-view every now and then, you know?
Yeah, and like if they do have any shows, it's not like even the sites on the boat don't even advertise them like that. Like they might once in a while, but not on a regular basis though. Alright, so see, look, she's scraping her face up against the cage. She should bleed, right? She should bleed,
Yes.
right?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
She literally just raking her face. She should bleed now. Again, raking her face up against the cage. She should bleed now.
You know, theoretically she would be, but they don't do that here.
Come on, Liv. You really trying to escape the cage? You should just try to beat her, dummy. That super skin. Nah, man, you gotta bleed in a cage match. I don't care who you are. You gotta bleed. You gotta bleed, son. You gotta bleed. I know they feel good that they're not in bodysuits right now. I bet you that, though.
Yeah, the bodysuits suck, man.
I will never support the bodysuit.
Bodysuits suck.
I will never support the bodysuit. I guess Liv Morgan is kind of the new Alexa Bliss now that Alexa Bliss is kind of gone.
I think that I might be in the minority here, but I think if they can't wrestle without the bodysuits, I would rather them not wrestle at all. Like if they can't just wear their proper ring gear, then I'd rather them just not be on the show at all.
I agree. Enough of this. Oh, they're doing so many strides in this country. Then can I wrestle without a bodysuit then? It's kind of hot out here. It's not like this is a cool climated country. It's kind of hot out here. You got me in a bodysuit.
Yeah, like it's like a fucking. It's like the Middle East. It's fucking hot as shit, and you're running around in a fucking tuxedo looking like Mr. Peanut. Thanks for that, Gojira. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if they can't wrestle on the show in their traditional gear, I would just rather them not wrestle on the show at all. Maybe I'm in the minority, but that's just what I think.
I would agree. It's like, listen, they don't wear that shit when they go anywhere else, but they gotta come here and put on a bodysuit. Then that same rule should apply to the men, because the men are out here half-ass naked. Tell them to put a bodysuit on.
Exactly.
Tell the dudes to put a bodysuit on.
Equality.
Yeah, that is equality. Put on a bodysuit. If the women gotta wear a bodysuit and sit there and sweat it up, put your ass in a bodysuit. Go get you one of them old school MVP suits, but just make sure it don't cut the knees off. Go put one of them fuckers on. MVP, he'll probably be the only cat chilling. He like, nigga, I stayed in a bodysuit, son.
Yeah.
He be out here like Goku and shit. He be moving too fast for them, son. Like, how you doing in MVP? I stayed in the bodysuit. I debuted in a bodysuit. I've been training.
You simply
200 times Earth gravity in the bodysuit, son.
You simply adopted the bodysuit. I was born into the bodysuit.
Yeah, I mean, but they gotta wear the bodysuit. If the women gotta do it, they all gotta pull out the MVP bodysuit.
And Flash Funk wore a bodysuit.
Flash Funk did wear a bodysuit, son.
Oh my god.
Too cold, Scorpio. Flash Funk. Bodysuit.
That's a tag team right there. That's a tag team right there.
The bodysuit bros.
Yeah.
The bodysuit bros. Yo, you know who else wears a bodysuit? Coke Man and Pepsi Man, the brand in ELW. They wear bodysuits.
Everybody's wearing bodysuits.
Bodysuit bros. You know who doesn't wear bodysuits? The North American Thick Boys. And you're gonna see that body. Everybody wants to see that body.
There's no suits powerful enough to cover those bodies.
They're in a bodysuit made by man to cover up the North American Thick Boys.
Yeah.
It's too much machismo. Too much machismo. Watashi Kakita. You know what I just said right there?
It's time to eat.
No. Watashi Kakita says, I am here.
Nice.
Just like the number one, All Might.
He wore a bodysuit.
He did wear a bodysuit. Full circle, baby. Full circle. Everyone should wear the bodysuit, not just the women.
Did you finish? By the way, did you finish the last season yet?
I am at the end of season 7. So like I'm the whole the derby and everything. I just got like 2 or more episodes to finish it up.
Got you.
But yeah, that shit is crazy though.
The new season's pretty good so far.
I seen the seasons on Hulu, but it's on the sub. I usually wait for the dub and more episodes so that way I could kind of like marathon it. So I'm holding off. But you know, I'm gonna catch up. I always catch up. So it's all good. It would be funny if they did put the title back on Becky to give Liv like a 3-day reign. Or like a 2-day reign, actually.
I wouldn't be mad at it.
Bro, they banging these chicks' faces up against this cage so many times and ain't nobody leaking. Not even a little bit. Not even a taste.
Fake cage match.
Plus, this is the type of shit like you was talking about earlier. Like, this is supposed to be like grudge match. This is almost on the veins of not just a title match, but a grudge match. And you put it in a cage. And then, like, come on.
That's what I mean. Like, without... Okay, like, you don't need to be, like, leaking to the extent of, like, Malachi Black was. But, man, like, you gotta at least get a little color. Like, sell me... Like, if this match is so dangerous, show me how dangerous this match is, you know? Like, I think that's been lost in WWE. Like, remember like early like Elimination Chamber matches? Like, remember like the next night on Raw, guys would come out and various parts of their body would be all like taped up and shit because they're like, man, they're like the Elimination Chamber is so brutal that everybody got banged up or scraped up or bruised or whatever the case may be, you know?
Yeah.
They just don't do shit like that anymore, man.
Nah,
Like, they
really
just don't do shit like that. I think that's lost. I think that's something that's been lost on WWE. And like certain matches, like you just need to have that extra level of brutality. You know, Gojira, maybe they should have bled. Maybe they should have bled. I don't know, man. It's just like, you know, sell me on how violent and how dangerous this is.
Yeah, I mean, at least if you're gonna bang your faces up on the hell, even the video game would have busted you open by now. You're banging them on the cage so many times.
Yeah.
Although I did notice in the games, they never do blood on the women, though.
No.
Which is kind of lame.
It is lame.
See,
Quality.
again, Dominic. Dominic out here again. Why he out here? Why he need to be out here?
Exactly. Why indeed?
Why does he need to be out here? And now Braun's back out here. We got a lot of shenanigans going on in this cage match right now.
We do.
And Becky gets blasted by the cage.
Too many shenanigans, in fact.
That was lame. That was a lame finish, bro. If this is what we have in store for the reign of Liv Morgan, I am not impressed.
Yeah.
And Raw just ends real quick and abruptly. Okay. Well, that was quite the Monday Night Raw, I guess. What would you say, Matt?
I don't know, man. You want me to say, like, man, it's like 90% rematches.
But okay, the main event, man. But the finish, though, like, what was that? What was that?
It's a predictable WWE finish. That's
Like,
all
that
it
was
is.
a
Like,
lot
as
of
soon as-
shenanigans not to for Becky not to lose clean. A lot of moving parts there.
Like once Braun starts, it's just like the triple threat match at the pay-per-view. Like once Braun starts running around the ring, it's like, okay, he's gonna run into the door, or once Dom is there and he's. How many times have we seen that be the finish of a cage match where somebody's opening the door so their person could crawl through, and then somebody bumps them, and then they slam the door and that person by accident? How many times have we seen that? Hundreds of times. It's nothing new, you know?
Yeah, lame finish. Like I
It's
said,
lame finish. Whatever.
Lame women's world champion and Liv Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, if this is what's to come from her reign, I'm not looking forward to it. That we gotta have these kind of kabuki finishes to not bury the opponents. All these goddamn moving parts. And the fact that, like, Braun Strowman's kind of the cause of that from running like a big dummy. He don't feel some guy upset that way. Hey, you big dummy. This cost me a title. Running around like a big fucking rhinoceros.
I've been kind of, I've been kind of talking a lot of shit about Raw tonight. I want to say at least one positive thing about Raw, because I want to say at least something positive, so it's not just shitting on everything. I do enjoy how much of the show Braun Strowman was on. Because to me, like, I like Braun. To me, like, I think Braun doesn't get enough credit. I think Braun is the best big man WWE's ever had. And I think he should be positioned more as a main eventer. So I do like how involved in the show he was. That's it. Like that's the only really nice thing I can say. Like I don't know, man. What else? What else? It was like 90% of it was like Otis versus Bronson Reed. Like how many times have we seen that match?
True.
Lyra Valkyria and Kairi Sane, like that was an alright match. Nothing special, but it was decent.
I mean, the Ricochet Ela was okay until Braun carried it his way to it. Big orange
other
monster.
Braun.
The other Braun.
Yeah, the other Braun.
The carrot colored.
The carrot Braun. The carrot colored Braun.
So it's like, yeah.
Maybe they should change his name to Bronze Breaker.
Call him Baby Carrot Steiner. Baby Carrot.
Orange
Alright,
Steiner.
Gojira, thanks for coming by. We're about to wrap up anyway. You know, Raw's over.
Yeah, we just fucking around now, so you're not gonna miss nothing.
Yeah, I'm back, 'cause I'm getting hungry. I ate some food in my bellies. But want to thank you about it. What you got?
I gotta keep this thick boy physique, you know, it's not gonna maintain itself.
You know what I'm saying? Gotta put fuel in the tank. But appreciate everybody coming out and hanging out with us tonight, man. You guys are cool. Always appreciate it. Smash that like for yourself, you know, because you guys are awesome. And subscribe if you haven't already. Also, tell a friend to tell a friend about Clickbait Wrestling every Monday night. We'll see you back here next week for more fun and shenanigans. If you're into that toy stuff, join us at the Sanctuary on Fridays. You know what it is. Spaghetti and Friends. And oh yeah, don't forget Thursday nights, ELW, Rage Quit. Any other last words before we call it, Matt?
Words aren't real. And apparently, breaking news, apparently due to time constraints, many in the U.S. missed out on Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio kissing to close out on Raw. So if you missed that,
Word?
you didn't miss much. Don't worry. Yeah.
No way. See? Planting them seeds, bruh. Planting them seeds. Well, I'm pretty sure they'll pop up on Twitter, so it's all good. But yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Y'all have a good night. And make sure you always kick out. Thick Boys out.
Time has come, I'm ready to go. Venturing into the unknown. Fire's inside me, must be unleashed. People talk nonsense all the day. Shampoo kindness, all they can say. I can't get no satisfaction. Woo-hoo! Challenge may have come. Woo-hoo! Fighting just begun, but there's no stopping. People spreading out my wings. Let's fly high. Woo-hoo! Concentrate my power. Woo-hoo! In the final hour, in the end, I'm gonna win. Don't you know I'm unstoppable? Don't even try, cause you will fall. I got a strength deep in my soul that gives me courage and control. I'll go beyond the limit break. The universe is mine to take. I have no fear. I think it's clear. Let's keep you high. Get all this Dragon Ball Super. We got the skill to blow Xeno rain.